I always tell people that being a police officer gives you a platform that'll amplify your true nature. If you're a good person, being an officer will give you that platform to amplify your good, right? But I want to thank you guys for that, because you are supporting us imperfect individuals. Thank you guys for risking your lives for that. Thank you. Welcome to Chicago, y'all. We have folks of all different colors, genders, religions, opinions, ethnicities, and occupations. Our city has some of the best architecture, food, music in the world. We got our fair share of problems, crime, poverty, failing schools. But what I've discovered while talking to Chicagoans is that people just don't feel connected to this large and vibrant city. They don't feel connected to our gyms. They don't feel connected to our struggles. Their world just revolves around a small segment of the city. That could be a comfortable community like downtown, the Loop, or it could be an under-resourced or a divested community like Roseland or Austin. Hey, for people living in both those type of communities, that limited mindset, that's dangerous. That's dangerous. That mindset is holding our city back from reaching its potential. While volunteering at Cook County Jail and talking with the young men there, it became apparent that none of the kids I worked with had ever left their block or their neighborhood. Their whole worldview, right, was shaped by their block. They had never been downtown. They had never seen the lake. They had never waved for a taxi. They had never had a boarding pass. They'd never been on them new elevators with no buttons. What they thought was possible for themselves and their friends was geographically bound and really constricted by the infrastructure, or really lack thereof, of their divested community area. I'm gonna have to break that down what that means, because I don't want to talk like in data. You have to understand what it means to get on a train for school in the morning and have a German Shepherd sniff you. You got to understand what it means to come home at 3 o'clock and see 3 helicopters flying above your house. When they go up and down, they float kind of like dragonflies. See, you have to order your food through 3-inch bulletproof glass windows to know what I'm talking about. The glass is so thick, the kids got to order their breakfast through it. They say, hey man, I want the Doritos. No, I don't want the spicy nacho. I want the Cool Ranch. The blue bag, man, the blue bag. The guy goes to get it. He drops it in a bulletproof glass jar, and he slides it out to you like you're an inmate. You're in the real world, though. You got to understand what it's like to go into a Walgreens and see all the cough syrup locked up. You got to understand what it's like for all the billboards in your community to promote cheap divorces and $6,000 tax advances. See, to understand it, you got to know what it's like for there to be 15 currency exchanges and no banks. How are you supposed to save? It's a liquor store in every other corner. You might as well get drunk. Hey, I asked the kid recently, I said, hey, what'd you do this weekend, man? He said, Jahmal, I had a great time. Great time. Saw my friends, family, got to eat out. It was amazing. I got to dance, it was cool. I said, what'd you do this weekend? Where'd y'all go? He said, oh, we went to Leaks. This is the best funeral I ever been to. The best funeral he ever been. It's not regular to have been to 35 funerals. It's not regular for there to be a holding cell in the basement of a funeral home. It's not regular for there to be a $20 withdrawal limit on an ATM. It's not regular for there to be paddy wagons parked outside the front of the school. To understand the kids, this is what they go through every day. It's not regular. That's tragic. I started a program called My Block, My Hood, My City. We take these teenagers from these under-resourced community areas and we expose them to different cultures, different professions, different cuisines. You ask a kid right now what they want to be. They say, I want to be a rapper. I take that same kid to Gatorade, they learn about consumer engagement. 2 weeks later, they say, Jahmal, I want to be a consumer engagement specialist. A kid tells me, hey, I want to be a wide receiver. We take him to Hallis Hall to visit Sam Acho, my friend that plays for the Bears. Sam introduces them to the guy that does the lawn maintenance. How come that guy gets paid $300,000 a year? What kind of job is that? Exposure is key. We've all heard the saying, if you show somebody better, they do better. That's just not a catchphrase or a euphemism. Like what y'all know intuitively is backed by a wealth of youth development research. And that suggests that neighborhoods impact youth through exposure-based influences and forces. So if all he's seeing is dope boys growing up, what you think he's gonna wanna be? Not an astronaut. You can't be what you can't see. We just took our first cohort of students to college. They got accepted in Chicago, but they chose to go to college in South Carolina because we had took them on a plane ride before. You're not gonna go to college downstate if you never left your neighborhood, right? When I talk to these kids, I gotta tell them, if you can make it in Chicago, you can make it anywhere in the world. If you can make it in Chicago, you can make it anywhere in the world. Thank you guys for having me.